Hey guys, welcome back to this tutorial. Today we are going to be talking about conditional statements in Python. Conditional statement, as the name implies, means that you state a condition and then you give an instruction as to what will happen if that condition is met. And if it's not met, you give an instruction of what will happen. This is like the chart flow of conditional statements. You see here you have the condition, you will state the condition like if something is, for example, if you have an array, or let's say it can be a simple condition like if x is 5. Now if this condition is true, then you write the code for what should happen. If the condition is false, that is if x is not 5, then you write the code. So in Python we call the conditional statements if and else statements. Now let's get our hands dirty and understand this better. So when you want to write conditional statements, we use the if and else statements. For example, if I have something like a is equal to, let me have a string called Python. Then if I want to check if there is t in this variable, so if I'm writing a conditional statement like if t in a, remember we talked about logical operators. So I'm writing this. This is the condition t in a. Remember, if I print t in a, it will return true or false if it is true or false. So now this is the condition if t is in a. Now if this is true, then you write a colon to denote that that is the end of this condition. Then when you enter, you will notice that there is an indentation here. There's a space from the beginning. This is to show that whatever you're writing here belongs to this if statement. If you do not put this indentation, you get an error. So if t is in a, let's just do a simple print t is in variable a. Now let's execute this and see what will be printed. You see we have t is in variable a. Now let's say we use another alphabet like k, and we know k is not in a. We'll need to create another statement for a condition, for if the condition is false. Now this indentation means that this statement you're writing belongs to this if statement. To create another statement, you would have to go out of the indentation. So you use the else, then you put the colon as well for the end of the else statement. Then you enter print it's not present. Now, I don't know if we've talked about this backslash. In case you have the need to put a quote, like something like this, an apostrophe in your print statement, you can just add the backslash to tell Python that this is not the end of the string. Otherwise, when you remove this backslash, you see it's not recognizing this as a string. So that is just that. So let's execute this now and see. You see we have it's not present. So if this condition is, so the Python interpreter will go through this if statement, and then it will go through this if statement, and if it is true it will do this. If it is not true, it will go out of the statement and look at the other conditions. So else print is not present. So since k is not in a, it's going to print what is in the else block. And you notice that we have indentation. So I've explained what this indentation means earlier. It means that this block of code belongs to the if statement, and this one also belongs to the else statement. Now if I try to change this, remove this indentation, I would get an error. You see, expected an indented block. So you should just take note of that. So this will not give an error. So if in case you need to have multiple statements, there's something we call the Alif statement. For example, if you have a variable, let's say a list, or let's say just use another variable, let's b is equal to 7, and you want to have more than one conditions, you can say if b is greater than 10, print greater than 10. If this is not met, you can create another condition by using the Alif. So Alif b is, let's say, less than 5, print less than 5. You can add as many Alifs as you want. Alif b, so let's just let's just leave this as else. Print it's in between. So let's see what's going to be. So you see we have it's in between. So the interpreter will go through this first line. If b is greater than 10, so b is not greater than 10, so this condition is false, so it will not go into this code at all. So it will go to the next statement. If b is less than 5, so b is not less than 5, so it would also go out of this. Else, so since these two conditions are not met, it will go for the else. So let's say I change this to something like 2, you'll see less than 5. So that is the simple way to create conditional statements in Python. You can have as many elifs as you want, but your else and your if would only be one. You would only have one if and else statement for a block of conditional statements. But you can have so many elifs. You can have another elif here, elif, then you have elif, elif, in case you need to have many conditions. So you can add as many elifs as possible, but your if and else statement must be only one. So that is it about conditional statements in Python. See you in the next tutorial. Thank you.